Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 10, Episode 2, On Lockdown. This one opens with Teresa groaning and grunting and lifting weights, and she's at the gym working out her frustrations because Joe called her at 4:30 in the morning and they had already transferred him to the ICE facility. And she didn't think that was going to happen so quickly, but I guess they did it in the middle of the night to avoid paparazzi. And so, it's a lot. And she was just needed a release. So she was just working out. Over at Joe and Melissa's house, it's morning. The kids are getting ready for school. So I guess Joe wrote a new book called The Gorga Guide to Success. Melissa explains that Joe made his fortune building and flipping houses. I guess last year, a publishing company approached him and asked him to write a book so that the average Joe could do the same thing. Melissa is telling the kids that you guys are coming with us because we're all going to Daddy's book release party. So they start talking about the timing being terrible. Melissa said, I don't know how long your sister's going to last at this party tonight. He said, yeah, I know. I mean, I feel bad because the timing of the party, this was all set up, and then this turns out to be the day that Joe got, transferred to ICE. Then we cut to Dolores and Frank talking about it, Margaret and Joe talking about it. Everybody thinks it's terrible. They feel bad for them because he's done his time and this would be a great day. He would be home if he was a U.S. citizen. So Teresa gets home from the gym and Nono has made chicken cutlets for lunch oh my God. That man can cook. They looked good. Also, I'm really hungry right now. Then Joe calls her and of course she's got him in her phone as Joey Brother. I mean, I kind of understand it because there's a ton of Joes in that town. Anyway, he's asking, how you doing? And she goes, I need a drink. And he said, I bet you do. How are the girls? And she said, well, not good. Gia posted that picture on Instagram. And he said, I know, I saw it. And of course, it's this picture of Gia and her dad, and she's little, and it's like they're on vacation or something. She looks so cute. And that kid, I swear to God, she is very good with words. It's pretty sad, heartfelt, just saying how, my father has done his time and he's learned his lesson and he's a better person now and he should be with his family, basically. It's a mess. Also, Melania didn't go to school. She said she was sick, but, I feel so bad for these kids. And then Teresa's like, did Melania get up yet? And Nono said, she said good morning, then go back up. And she said, I'm going to go check on her. So she goes and knocks on her bedroom door, and you just hear her go away. Teresa, just, leave the kids alone. I get it. She shouldn't talk like that to her mom, but she knows her mom's got a camera crew following her. Leave her alone. Just leave the kids alone right now. That's all. Anyway, the doorbell rings, and Teresa had said that Jim, their attorney, is coming over to explain everything to the girls. So it's him at the door. So the girls come home from school. Adriana has dance class, and Nono is taking her. And, I keep saying this, but it's so sad. These girls are breaking my heart. And Teresa is saying, how can you explain to a 9-year-old that her dad might never come home? So the attorney is there and he's just basically going through all the steps. Gia already knows the legal terms for everything. And I don't know if I didn't understand if the attorney was saying that Joe was mislabeled, but he was labeled an aggravated felon, and that was the reason he had to go into this ICE detention, or even maybe why they were considering deporting him. I'm not totally sure. In any case, he said, once we get that figured out, and then he'll have to appeal, and Melania asked, how long is it going to take? And he said 6 to 9 months. I mean, I think what we know is that he waited 8 months and then he went to Italy. And I think that was because he had had enough. I don't think it's because he lost his appeal. I don't think it happened yet. Everything happens so slow in the legal system. I might be wrong about that. If I am, please leave that in the comments so that everybody gets the correct information. Okay, so while they're all at the table talking, Joe calls and he's talking to the girls. He talks to Gia first and he's telling her, he said, and according to Joe, this is a worse lockdown than the prison he was in, because that was minimum security, I guess. And this is like maximum lockdown in a cell. Gia said she was going to come and visit him. He said, I don't want you to, because it's like through the glass, where we talk to each other on the phone through a glass. So, and like Melania said, this is a worse jail than the one he was in. And it sounds like it is. Anyway, I don't know how much more I can really even say about this. It's just heartbreaking. He's got like one more minute to talk on the phone, and Gabriella talks to him quickly, and then Melania talks to him quickly. It's a mess. And Teresa said, I just want you all to be happy. And Melania's like, seriously, Mom, how can we be happy? Our dad was in jail, and now he might be deported. And she kind of gets up and leaves the table, goes back in her room. I mean, honestly, the consequences of his actions will also affect his daughters for their whole lives. Okay, now we check in with Dolores and Frank, and they are at the job site of David's new giant house that they're building. And David does show up too. Now he's got like a beanie on with the logo of the hospital he works at. So I think I'm right when I say that he has agreed to be on the show if he can plug the hospital. I don't know exactly, but let's just play a game and see if every time that we see David for the rest of the season, he isn't wearing something related to that hospital he works at. So I don't know. Dolores is trying to be cute and flirty, and she says, David hates PDA, especially when it's in front of my 275-pound ex-husband. Now we are going on a walk with Jennifer and her daughter Gabriella. They're going for a walk because now that Jennifer has had her liposuction, she wants to live a healthier lifestyle and keep the weight off, and she would like to be a good example for her children. And Gabriella is like, why are we here? We've never done this. It's cold out. I've never been outside before. I don't know. I feel like the children have never walked anywhere but from one end of the mansion to the other, which, to be fair, is a workout. But so now she's trying to get the kids out in the element. And of course, it's actually a good thing. Okay, so now the two of them sit down on a park bench to talk. And what the hell is Real Housewives of New Jersey trying to do here? Enough with the sadness and the children. Okay, so she asks her how things are at school, and apparently not good. No. Gabriella's friends, Gabriella had gotten into a group of friends that she liked, and then they dumped her. And she said, at first I was just sad because they weren't my friends anymore, but now they're sending over their boyfriends to like throw food at us and stuff. And she starts crying, and it's like, oh my God. I want the kids on less. Let me just put that out there. I want to make fun of the ladies. I don't like all this like really sad stuff with the children. Okay? So Jennifer starts to tell her that, to hang in there, and I don't want you sad. And when she was in high school, that happened to her with some mean girls. It's embarrassing, and I understand, and you just have to know that not everybody's going to like you in life, and that's okay. That's just how it is. So then in her talking head, she said, that's why it bothered me so much when Jackie called me a bully. It really hit a nerve. And also it was a very stupid comment on Jackie's part. Okay, so now it is the night of the book party for Joe Gorga's new book, and Margaret and Joe and Dolores and Frank, not David, Teresa, no, they're all there. They start talking about, Melissa said how proud she is, and she goes, can you believe it? My husband is an author, and, everyone's happy. And then Margaret asks Teresa, about Joe. Have you heard from him? Because before Teresa got there, everybody again was talking about how tonight should have been such a joyful occasion for them because that was the night he got out of jail and he should have been home with everybody. So she said, yeah, Joe called and he's there. He's at the ice. It's in New Jersey. And they're like, oh, that's good. It's close. And she said it's 2 hours and 45 minutes away, which is actually further than he was when he was in prison. So, yeah, not great. Okay, so Dolores has planned a fun outing for Teresa to get her mind off of everything. And it's an adult obstacle course. We've seen a couple of those before. I think the OC Housewives went on like a ropes course at the beginning of, not this year, but last year, which was pretty funny. Anyway, so she's got this planned for her and she tells her about it. And she said, I'm going to invite all the girls, Jennifer and Jackie. And Teresa goes, wait, can I bring Danielle? Uh-oh. Everybody's reaction is like, oh. In Melissa's confessional, she goes, I mean, I know Teresa is under a lot of stress right now, but we have all made it crystal clear that we don't want Danielle around anymore. So Dolores says, listen, it's not a great idea to have Danielle there, but it's not my party. So if you want her there, and Margaret's like, what? Why would she even want to come? How could Danielle do an obstacle course? Her pussy ring will get caught on something. Oh, God. First of all, ouch. Secondly, Teresa did not like that comment. She is, I don't know, I do not understand her loyalty to Danielle. The iconic table flip prostitution whore was about Danielle. So how we got to a place where she is just besties with her, I mean, she did apologize to her, but yeah, I don't know. Danielle's daughters hated Teresa. You know, all of their relationships are just bizarre to me, so I don't know if I will really ever understand. So anyway, like I said, Dolores said, it's your day, whoever you want, that's fine if you want to invite her. And Teresa goes, so if it's my day, then why is Jackie invited? Melissa goes, shocker. The truce between Teresa and Jackie lasted all of 5 seconds. Next, we are with Melissa and her party planner, and she is waiting on Jackie to help her. Melissa is planning her 40th birthday party, and apparently there is no budget because you only turn 40 once. And he said, are we still going with the gold and white theme? And she said, I like metallics, and I also like that idea you had of a close-up of my eyes somewhere. What? I'm not sure what that means. Like a giant blow-up photo of her eyes, or like the cake will be a close-up of her eyeballs? Or is it like a Where's Waldo thing that people have to try and find Melissa's eyeballs? I'm not sure, but I can't wait to see what he means. Melissa and Jackie are going around the showroom looking for things, and she's supposed to be picking out things that she likes. The theme is sexy but classy, not trashy. We'll see if that's achieved. I don't know. But she's going around and she's looking, oh, I like this, I like that. And so she picks up this glass and she's like, look at these glasses. Everything is so nice. And Jackie goes, but oh my God, it's $300 a glass. And she's like, I know. And then she turns and tell me what you guys think of this. I'm going to show you the video. I think it seemed a little staged. Melissa claims she was just trying to put the glass back up on the shelf, but it looks to me like she smashed it into the shelf. In any case, the glass breaks into a million pieces. The other thing is, it's so quiet in there, and the party planner guy is on the phone. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't hear a thing. And so it's supposed to be, oh, funny. Oh, let's pick up the pieces of glass and put it on a shelf and pretend we were never over there. I don't buy it. I think it was a joke. Side note, why would that glass be $300? That also seems suspicious. Okay, so now Melissa tells Jackie, I wanted you to hear it from me first, but Dolores has planned an outing for Teresa. And Teresa said, well, as long as it's for me, I would rather not have Jackie there. And Jackie goes, am I the only one not going then? And she's like... And she said, see, okay, this is what's going on. I just need Teresa to stop doing stuff like this so that I can stop hating her. I get it. I totally get it. So then Melissa goes, yeah, okay, so obviously I'm spending a lot of money on this party. So I would really like there to not be drama. And Jackie said, I'm not going to start anything with her at your birthday party. But if she's an asshole to me, I'm going to be an asshole to her. And Melissa's like, okay, thank you. That's what I want to hear. Okay, the next scene is with Margaret. And she goes into this shop in the city called Seesaw. And apparently she knows the owner. Her name is Gina. And she is looking for a dress for Melissa Gorga's 40th birthday party. They start talking, and it turns out that this Gina was also friends with Danielle until, I guess, Danielle did her dirty. Margaret talks about how not long after she and Marty got divorced, she was engaged again to this guy Oliver, who is a duke. Those are Margaret's air quotes, by the way. I don't know who he is. Oh, okay. Oliver was this woman's boyfriend at the time. So... yeah, that's great. It kind of makes me wonder if Margaret was friends with this Gina before or after that. Because in a way, I can kind of see Margaret becoming friends with her because they have a common enemy, you know? I mean, I don't know. Okay, now we are at the Griten Whit obstacle course. It looks fun to me. I kind of feel like I would want to do it, but boy, does this one look cold. Everybody is really bundled up. That does not look fun to me. Dolores is there first, and this guy who is running it is explaining it to her, and I guess it's half physical and half mental. Oh, God. Oh, I think it might be tricky for some of these ladies. Okay, now Jennifer gets there next, and then Margaret. Margaret is not even wearing a coat. I am so cold right now just looking at these ladies. Why can't this thing be indoors? You know? Anyway, Dolores is telling her who is coming, and it turns out that Jennifer also had a little problem with Danielle. Now, that's really surprising to me because if you remember last year, Danielle was befriending Jennifer, especially when Jennifer was really having her conflicts with Margaret. Danielle swooped in and took Jennifer under her wing and was all really nice to her. So I guess they went out to dinner, and Danielle was bent out of shape because, I don't know, she was having trouble with the maitre d' or something. And Jennifer said, Danielle, maybe she doesn't know who you are. And Danielle said, everybody knows me. So that was an issue, and then she said, there, now that's all you need to know about me. And Jennifer said, I didn't know your name was Beverly. So Dolores and Margaret are dying laughing, and she's like, what? I guess they have a mutual hairstylist who told her Danielle's real name was Beverly, but supposedly didn't tell her why she changed her name and all that, which, that's debatable. But Dolores is like, oh, that's a real trigger for her. So it's kind of funny that now truly everyone at this thing, except for Teresa, have an issue with Danielle. Okay, so everybody is there now. Danielle, Rosanna, and Rosanna. I don't know who the Rosannas are, but everybody's there, and the guy is explaining that they will be in teams of 2, and they'll go through the obstacle course team by team. Whoever gets the best time will be the winners. Teresa, wait a minute. Doesn't whoever goes first, wouldn't they finish first? Wouldn't they be the winners? He's like, that's why it's a timed thing. Yeah, the mental portion is going to be tricky. The first pair is Teresa and Danielle, and they have to solve a little puzzle, which they did. The guy even sounded surprised. He's like, yeah, you did it. So go on to the next thing, and they have to jump over these walls, and Danielle gets over the first one, and Teresa's like, wait a minute, your legs are longer than mine. So Danielle comes back around to the front, gets down on all fours so that Teresa can step on her back and get over. I'm beginning to see why Teresa likes her. She's a complete and total suck up. You know how Teresa thinks this is the Teresa show, and that the only reason people even like Melissa is because she's her sister-in-law. Yeah, Teresa's ego has gotten enormous. I think that might be happening to all the OGs. I think that's what happened to Vicky. I think when you're around from the very, very beginning, you think it's your show. Anyway, so when Danielle came around to get on all fours, Jennifer goes, oh, look, they've got a good system. And Danielle is very good at being on all fours. Of course, she gets a big laugh out of Dolores. Okay, so everybody had a great time, and the guy says that Teresa and Danielle won because, I don't know. It was Teresa's day, even though Melissa and Margaret had a faster time. It was all for fun anyway, but I do think that's a little stupid, just because could Teresa not have fun if she came in second place? Whatever. So now everyone is invited back to Dolores' house for lunch. At least they get to go inside. God, that looked cold. So all the ladies are at Dolores's, and they're sitting down having some lunch. And Jennifer said, that was really fun. I liked that we were in teams. I think it's something I would like to do with my daughter because she's having a hard time at school. And she explains what's happening with her old friend group, how they're excluding her now. And Margaret said, oh, that's terrible. And then she said, I think that's kind of what Jackie was talking about, with you making fun of her. And the flashback that we see is when Jackie said, the thing that hurt was that you were doing it with people who hate me. And I feel like you were doing it just to impress them. And then Margaret said, could you imagine if somebody did that to Gabby? And Jennifer said, I think that what is happening between children is different, and you can't compare that to what's happening between adults. Now, I totally agree with that. Jackie's an adult. First of all, I have a problem with her saying that was cyberbullying. That just, it irritates me when people go way overboard, and I think it sort of waters down the seriousness of it when there is some real cyberbullying happening. It makes it harder for people who are actually being cyberbullied to be believed, I think. When everybody's crying wolf, so to speak. And I also agree with Jennifer that it's not the same. It's worse with children doing it to each other. Grown adults, you know what? Deal with it. Sorry. Just like Jennifer said before, not everybody's going to like you. Adults are hopefully better equipped to deal with it than a kid. Somebody asks, Dolores, I think, asks, did anybody tell Jackie about today? And Melissa said, I did. Yeah. And so Teresa gets really upset about that. I see you two together all the time and I'm not invited. I think that's bullying, what she did to me. And saying I'm cheating on my husband, I think that's bullying. No, that's assassination of character. Somebody is learning her legal terms. Side note, shout out to Dolores for being a good girlfriend and wearing the St. Joseph's Health baseball cap when David could not be there to do so. Somebody said, well, what about Melissa's birthday party? You're going to see Jackie there. And Teresa goes, yeah, whatever. I'll see her there. Danielle, okay, Melissa, I guess this is another party I won't be invited to. And Melissa goes, what do you mean? Did I have another party I didn't invite you to? No. She points to Jennifer because she didn't get invited to the Aiden 5-year customer appreciation party. And Jennifer goes, yeah, that's right. I didn't invite you. Yeah, it was a business thing. And I just didn't want somebody there who, has the ability to just flip a switch so easily. Danielle's like, yeah, I don't flip a switch. And Jennifer goes, oh, yeah, but you did. And she said, that was because you said something very hurtful to me. And I guess it was calling her Beverly. And she said, yes, but I told you I didn't know I was saying something hurtful. And she said, you kept saying it. And it was like a knife every single time you said it. Jennifer said, but I apologized to you the next day. She said, you never apologized. And she said, yes, I did. I have the text here somewhere. And then Danielle goes, oh, that's right. You did text me a very long message. As though the fact that it was very long was annoying or something. I don't know. Well, then Margaret gets involved and wants to defend Gina, her friend Gina, who was dating the Duke at the time. Danielle's not going to apologize for that. So she wants to turn the tables on Margaret. You're the one that, after 4 years of having an affair with Joe, decide to dignify Jan with a divorce. It wasn't 4 years, Margaret says. But it doesn't matter. I have an ex-husband that adores me. My current husband adores me. That's a lot more than you can say for yourself. Danielle's like, it was still cheating. And she said, well, you've been with a lot more married men than I have. And Danielle's like, I'm leaving because I'm not going to sit here with trash. And as she's going out, homewrecker, piece of you talk about me like that? And, she's getting bleeped and whore this and the whole way out the door. And Dolores, see, now this is where it gets out of control. Meanwhile, Teresa is just petting her hair. In her confessional, she said, I just think that Margaret hits below the belt. And then she goes to check on Danielle. Danielle goes below the belt too. It's just a bizarre relationship. So Teresa gets in the car with Danielle and she's like, that was nasty. I mean, like, seriously, that whole side of the couch came after me. Which is basically everybody. Except for Teresa, who was on her side, and Rosanna, who didn't say a word. And Teresa's like, I'm sorry. I thought maybe Margaret could control herself. And Danielle goes, she doesn't want me around. Yeah. None of them do. Teresa is the only one that does want her around. Meanwhile, in the house, somebody drops a plate or something and there's a scream. And Margaret says, Rosanna, prostitute's not in confidence. It was in her book. Which leads me to believe that maybe Rosanna, well, I'm not sure if it was Rosanna or Rosanna, but Rosanna might have said, Margaret, that was in confidence or something, right? I don't know. Okay, so Teresa comes back in and Teresa says she felt like all 4 of you were coming at her. Margaret is upset because she said, Teresa, you never see what she does to me. She called me a whore. She says, you're a cheater. You're a whore. And she goes, I didn't hear her say whore. And even Dolores goes like, yeah, we all heard it on the way out the door. So Margaret gets up and leaves and she's like, you never see what she does to me. And then in Margaret's confessional, she goes, I can't believe Teresa's mad at me for calling Danielle a prostitute. And then we get the flashback of table flip. Yeah, prostitution, whore. Yeah. Called her a prostitute and a whore. Anyway, Margaret now goes out the door and they're talking about it. And Melissa goes, and that's why I didn't invite her to my birthday party. Teresa goes, yeah, but like those two are like oil and vinegar. And Jennifer and Melissa, oil and water. Oh, yeah. And that is where this episode ends. Oh, God. It's fun, you guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Who are the Rosannas? Somebody let me know. Subscribe, give the video a like if you did. I'll be right back here next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Bye.